6 Arsenal stars are playing at the World Cup right now, but their club futures hang in the balance. Mikel Arteta has reportedly decided their time is up, and some of the names facing the axe will definitely shock you. Let me bring you up to speed. Mikel Arteta just led Arsenal to Premier League glory, the Gunners' first time as champions of England since 2004. They also reached the Champions League final against Paris Saint-Germain in Budapest, losing on penalties after scoring early. The best Arsenal season in a generation. Yet when the dust finally settled, Arteta wasted zero time choosing who stays for the next chapter. Arsenal's official website even published a page tracking former Gunners leaving in the 2026 transfer window. The names on that list: Eberechi, Gabriel Martinelli, Viktor Gyokeres, Leandro Trossard, Noni Madueke, and Kai Havertz. 6 players currently playing at the World Cup across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The manager's brutal message really could not be any clearer. 15 players from Arsenal's title-winning squad are playing for 9 different countries at the 2026 World Cup across North America. A staggering number that shows just how far this football club has come. But those 15 players are not equal. Some are totally untouchable. Players like Saka, Rice, Saliba, and Odegaard. But 6 others are flying their national flags while Arteta quietly locks the door behind them. The World Cup Gunners include Gabriel Martinelli for Brazil, Kai Havertz for Germany, Viktor Gyokeres representing Sweden, and Leandro Trossard for Belgium. Meanwhile, Noni Madueke and Eberechi join the Arsenal players representing England in Thomas Tuchel's 26-man squad. Stop and think about what that means for a second. Several of these guys helped win the league. Some were regular starters just a few months ago. And now, let me bring you up to speed. Arteta led Arsenal to the Premier League title, their first time as champions of England since 2004. They also reached the Champions League final against Paris Saint-Germain in Budapest, falling on penalties after scoring early. Simply the best season for Arsenal in an entire generation. But once the dust finally settled, Arteta wasted absolutely zero time deciding who survives for the next chapter. Arsenal's official website already launched a page to track former Gunners leaving in the 2026 transfer window. And the names on that list: Eberechi, Gabriel Martinelli, Viktor Gyokeres, Leandro Trossard, Noni Madueke, and Kai Havertz. 6 football stars currently representing their nations at the World Cup across America, Canada, and Mexico. The manager's message really could not be any clearer. 15 members of Arsenal's title-winning squad are representing 9 countries at the 2026 World Cup in North America, a truly staggering number. It shows exactly how far this club has evolved. But those 15 players are not viewed equally. Some are untouchable. Players like Saka, Rice, Saliba, and Odegaard. Then there are 6 others flying their national flags, while Arteta quietly shuts the exit door right behind them. These World Cup Gunners include Gabriel Martinelli for Brazil, Kai Havertz for Germany, Viktor Gyokeres for Sweden, and Leandro Trossard playing for Belgium. Meanwhile, Noni Madueke and Eberechi are among the 4 Arsenal stars representing England in Thomas Tuchel's 26-man squad. Think about that for a second. Some of these guys just won the league. Some were regular starters a few short months ago. Now, while they are thousands of miles away in North America chasing World Cup glory, Arsenal is busy replacing them. The Champions League runners-up are expected to be totally ruthless with their current playing squad by refusing to renew contracts or selling off fringe players for a respectable fee. Ruthless. That is the word. Arteta has always been that. He never lets sentiment block what is best for the team. He never hesitated to drop the very players who helped him rebuild this club from scratch. This summer is no different, just a bigger scale. Even though the club is not forced to sell before buying, they are actively building a market for several senior players. Ben White, Leandro Trossard, and Gabriel Martinelli are major names linked to potential exits, as Arteta aims to completely refresh his squad. Arteta and sporting director Andrea Berta recently managed another record-breaking summer of transfer spending where Arsenal finally addressed their long-standing issues with squad depth. But they failed to make serious money from player sales. Now, that balance sheet needs fixing. These 6 World Cup stars are the perfect answer to that problem. Expect even more cuts before the new season kicks off. What makes this transfer window so wild? The guys getting pushed out are not just fringe names or deep reserve players. These guys are internationals, World Cup starters. Names plastered on shirts fans have proudly worn for years. But Mikel Arteta ignores sentimentality. He only cares about what comes next. Let us break these down. Each of these 6 player stories is completely different, and each reveals exactly where Arteta is dragging this football club next. We will start with 2 exits you probably saw coming. Honestly, Leandro Trossard has been a massive unsung hero during this entire Arteta era. The Belgian winger left Brighton in January 2023 and instantly proved his worth. Completely adaptable and totally reliable across the entire front line. He buried crucial goals in massive moments and plugged holes whenever the team was desperate. In almost every single way, he was the perfect squad player. But here is the problem. Trossard sees his Arsenal contract expire in the summer of 2026. Crucially, the club never slapped a new deal on the table. He is 31 years old, down to his final 12 months, with 0 fresh terms offered. When a football club lets your contract bleed out without an extension, the message is brutally clear. Trossard stayed pretty cryptic about his Arsenal future in a recent interview, basically shrugging off what happens next. That is not the talk of a guy who feels wanted. That is the sound of a player just waiting for the phone to ring, and Arsenal might not be the ones calling. Trossard is repping Belgium at the World Cup right now. He knows the drill, having already played the 2022 edition over in Qatar. He will give absolute everything for the Red Devils in North America. But once those matches wrap up and he catches a flight home, there might not be a locker waiting for him back at London Coney. Everyone expects Trossard to leave, replaced by a left winger built for a different system. Plus, with some heavy personal expenses piling up off the pitch, a massive payday in Saudi Arabia could make perfect sense. Now, Gabriel Jesus is a different story entirely. Sure, he missed out on the World Cup, but his fate is so tangled up in the Trossard transfer rumors that we have to talk about him. Fans will remember Jesus as a vital signing, the guy who truly kickstarted the Mikel Arteta era, but constant injuries and his age are loudly signaling the end of his Arsenal career. Keeping Jesus was actually the least popular choice among Arsenal fans. Only 4% of polled supporters want the Brazilian to stick around until his 2027 contract ends. 4%. That is no vote of confidence, that is a goodbye. The general consensus around the squad is that Jesus will be sold this summer, but his exit does not really open up a striker spot. The club already relies on Viktor Gyokeres and Kai Havertz, and simply does not need a third striker. So, the striker department is shrinking. As for the wide areas, that is where the truly heartbreaking transfer stories actually begin. Out of all the brutal summer exits Arsenal fans have to stomach right now, losing Gabriel Martinelli is the one that will sting the most. He is more than just a player to this fan base. He is a symbol. The relentless, press-heavy Brazilian who perfectly embodied everything Arteta demanded. Brazil actually called up both Gabriel and Gabriel Martinelli for the World Cup. Gabriel is a world-class defender and an absolute lock for the squad. Meanwhile, Martinelli fought hard to earn his attacking spot alongside Neymar and Vinicius Jr., making the cut after being completely on the fence. So there he stands, wearing the famous yellow of Brazil on football's absolute biggest stage. Yet back in London, the club he carried for years is ready to move on. Martinelli is a deeply emotional situation. He is loved, truly, genuinely loved. But Arsenal desperately needs an upgrade on that left wing. His social post after grabbing that Premier League winners medal sounded exactly like a goodbye. Plus, the glaring lack of a contract offer speaks volumes. If he actually stays, he might see even less pitch time next season. Think about that. His message after lifting the Premier League trophy felt like a goodbye. When a player wins a massive championship and sounds like he is giving a farewell speech, you know exactly where things stand. Roughly 70% of polled Arsenal supporters actually wanted to see Martinelli sold off this summer window. That is no rejection of the player himself. It is just acknowledging harsh reality. Arsenal built a monster squad that demands a totally different profile out wide. They need someone more clinical, more consistent, a forward capable of breaking down parked buses exactly like a Champions League winning squad requires. The expectation is that Arsenal buys a fresh left winger this summer if Trossard walks. Martinelli finds his own future entirely trapped in that same conversation. Plenty of fans online are begging the club to sell both Martinelli and Trossard, swapping them out for 2 brand new wingers. While that much squad turnover is pretty unlikely, it is way more likely that one leaves, and a pure natural replacement is brought in to fill that role. Martinelli's contract at Arsenal runs until the summer of 2027, so the club holds the cards. They can sell on their terms. And with the World Cup acting as football's ultimate shop window, right now is the perfect time to boost his transfer value and find a buyer who will pay exactly what he is worth. Make no mistake, he holds real value. We are talking about a Brazilian international playing on the world's biggest stage. But his price tag for buyers and his actual value to Mikel Arteta's new Arsenal are two completely different things. It seems Arteta already did the math. And here's where the transfer drama really heats up. Because Noni, Madueke, and Eberechi Eze are not long-serving Arsenal players being reluctantly moved on. They just arrived last summer for Arteta's massive rebuild. Now, one transfer window later, they are already heading out the door. New signings like Viktor Gyokeres, Piero Hincapié, Martin Zubimendi, and Eze played massive parts in ending Arsenal's 22-year title drought. And yet, despite all of that, both Eze and Madueke are suddenly listed for sale. Arsenal paid a reported £50 million plus add-ons to Chelsea for Noni Madueke last summer. $50 million. That was a huge statement. The Gunners loaded their attack, bringing in striker Viktor Gyokeres alongside Madueke and Eze, joining a heavy squad that already featured Bukayo Saka, Ethan Nwaneri, Gabriel Martinelli, and the injured duo Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. That is exactly the problem. Just count those names. Saka, Nwaneri, Martinelli, Havertz, Gyokeres, Eze, and Jesus. That is not a balanced squad. That is a massive traffic jam up top. Too many players, nowhere near enough minutes, and too few fitting the exact tactical profile Arteta wants right now. Madueke is one of 4 Arsenal players representing England at the World Cup in Thomas Tuchel's 26-man squad. While Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice are locked in to start for England, Eze and Madueke give Tuchel dangerous attacking options from the bench. They are squad players at the World Cup. It seems they were just squad players at Arsenal too, and that is exactly why they are leaving. Arsenal fans were recently asked for their honest opinions in a brutal keeper-sell debate, and a huge chunk of the fan base wants to see several familiar faces head straight for the exit. 94% of voters want Academy graduate Reiss Nelson out, 70% voted to sell Martinelli, and 63% are fully ready to get rid of Trossard. But the Eze and Madueke situation goes way beyond simple fan anger. It comes down to the cold logic of what Arteta actually wants his team to be. When you win the Premier League and reach a Champions League final, the summer question is not about adding more bodies. It is about becoming totally ruthless and precise. Champions make small tweaks, not complete overhauls. And making those tweaks means being brutally honest about who actually fits the system and who does not. Eze and Madueke are both electric on the pitch. Both are English internationals good enough for the World Cup. But Arsenal's tactical system, the way Arteta demands strict positional discipline, means raw talent alone is not enough. The right wing belongs to Bukayo Saka, and the entire attack is being rebuilt around Gyokeres. And in that highly tuned version of Arsenal, starting spots are incredibly scarce. Yet despite all these player sales, Arsenal remain hyper-ambitious in the transfer market, looking to strengthen the attack and fullback spots. They are reportedly tracking Paris Saint-Germain star Kvaratskhelia. They also want Newcastle forward Anthony Gordon and have serious interest in Atletico Madrid striker Julian Alvarez. Big new names are coming. That means old faces, even the recently signed ones, have to leave. And then we have Kai Havertz, easily the most complicated case of them all. His situation raises major questions, not just for this summer, but for how Arsenal actually plan to attack next season. Havertz made the cut for Julian Nagelsmann's 26-man Germany squad. This gives him a shot at his second World Cup, after playing in Qatar back in 2022, where Germany suffered an absolute disaster of a group stage exit. So he gets his chance at international redemption. But back in London, his Arsenal future hangs by a thread. Here is the thing about Havertz at Arsenal. He was never a pure striker, and never just a midfielder. He defied being boxed into one specific role. Arteta played him as a false 9, an attacking midfielder, and even had him dropping deep to cover space whenever the team desperately needed it. He was incredibly fluid and highly intelligent, and when fit, he was genuinely brilliant. But those two words, when fit, are doing some serious heavy lifting right now. Havertz spent a long time sidelined with a knee injury this season. Now Viktor Gyokeres is healthy, and the striker department is suddenly overflowing with options. The tense mood around the club was perfectly summed up by loud groans from Arsenal supporters. If only Kai was fit. That really sums up the frustration. Crucial when healthy, but his body constantly betrayed him and the squad. Now, with the German star potentially heading out, things look totally different. Arsenal still expects to drop over $150 million on Hingapi's permanent deal, plus a new left winger and a right back. The club is fully prepared for both outcomes, have it staying or have it going. Having backup plans means the final call hasn't been forced just yet, but the overall direction, that much is obvious. Hobbs' contract runs until the summer of 2028, meaning Arsenal firmly hold the cards. There is absolutely no fire sale happening here, but if a massive offer rolls in from a Bundesliga side wanting to bring their German international home before the post-World Cup market explodes, or maybe a heavyweight team needing attacking depth, then Arteta and sporting director Berta simply will not hesitate. Plus, we are seeing direct Arsenal clashes at the World Cup itself. Hinkeep's Ecuador takes on Havertz's Germany in a massive match that could fully decide Group E. In one of the most symbolic moments of the tournament, two Arsenal stars will line up on opposite sides. One player has his club future totally locked down. The other is left hanging by a thread. That is the harsh reality of a squad in transition. Some football observers out there feel that Gyokeres, Madueke, and Havertz should all stay put. Joker found his true rhythm late in the season, and a fully fit Havertz could boost him even more next year. But the club's official transfer page tells a totally different story. And look, when a club actually tracks their own guys on a departures list, the writing is pretty much on the wall. One thing is undeniable: Arteta refuses to just stand still. Arsenal is eager to hand him a massive new contract before preseason kicks off. Sources say Arteta loves it at the club and has zero plans to leave. He is staying, he is building, and the squad he puts together for next season's title defense and Champions League push will look absolutely nothing like the team that won it. 6 players are at the World Cup chasing the ultimate prize, knowing the second that final whistle blows on their tournaments, they will be flying home to pure uncertainty. A few will find new clubs in a heartbeat. Others might just drop a tournament performance that completely changes the conversation and forces Arteta to rethink things. But right now, in the hot summer of 2026, the message coming out of the Emirates is crystal clear. The whole squad is being reshaped, the transfer window is wide open, and these 6 names, no longer in the plans. The World Cup is their ultimate shop window, and Arteta is watching.